I'm on God time, what you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? What you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? What you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? God time, we don't never waste. We don't never waste.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rock Top Sports Talk. This is your boy, Coach Rice. On tonight's episode, you saw the title, National Signing Day Review Show. Dude, what an awesome day. What an awesome day to be a Tennessee Vol. Josh Heupel was in that bag today. He was cooking. The old Chef Curry, all the old sayings, when someone's in the bag or someone's doing, is hot right now. That's what Coach Heupel was today. Him and his staff finished off the class on a great note. There is one question that that's out there with Salisi Moa. We'll get into that. But overall, great day for the Tennessee Volunteers for the 2026 recruiting class. We'll have them. We'll talk about them, and I'll have them all pulled up, and we'll talk about each individual one, kind of what they bring, what's expected of them. Are they experimental or potential prospect, or someone that's expected to come in and be an immediate impact, or someone that, where's the Ty Redmond in this class? Yes, Ty Redmond had his up and down, but that dude started as a true freshman all year in the grind of the SEC. So who's going to be that guy going into next year? So we'll break all that down on this show. But first off, y'all go give us a thumbs up. Follow, subscribe to the channel. That does us a wonder. It gets this channel out there, helps to promote the channel, helps the algorithm of all that. And then go follow us on Facebook, Rock Top Sports Talk page. I post every time we go live on there what we're doing. And then on Twitter at Rocky Top Talks 1. Post on there every time we post. I communicate with some of y'all on there. As well as through our personal accounts. But go, please subscribe to all those, follow all those, like all those, whatever you got to do to get in touch with this channel. All of us that are part of this channel, just trying to enjoy being able to talk with all y'all about Tennessee Vol football. It's after this show, I'm really deep dive into basketball. I know that we've already had a good part of the season, but this is kind of the last turning point outside of the bowl game. Now, obviously, I will have some transfer portal videos that me and Tom and Michael or whoever else wants to come on. We may talk about the transfer portal from time to time, but once we get to that part of the transfer portal season. But this is really the last thing of football season up until bowl games or playoffs. Which unfortunately Tennessee's not in this year. But this is great momentum going into the bowl game. If we go win the bowl game like we should with whatever Big Ten or ACC pansy team we play against, you're looking at a great momentum going into the offseason. I know that Vanderbilt game sucked. I don't want to talk about it. That's out. That's in the past. But we can build off this momentum of this great National Signing Day. Really build off of that. So with that being said, let me get my guys in here. We're going to talk about the Josh Heupel press conference, and we'll talk about each individual player, kind of what our thoughts are momentum-wise going into the rest of this offseason. So what's up, guys?
How's it going, bud?
Man, it's been a great day. Been a great day to be a Tennessee Vol fan. Big gets, big flips. You love flip season, especially if it goes your way. And Tennessee got several of them today. I know we're going to talk about it, but On 3 has us all the way up to number 5 right now in the industry rankings. 247 at one point today had us all the way up to number 2 in the nation in the National Signing Day recruiting class rankings. So I think they've both kind of evened out at 5 right now. We just added J.J. Finch, which I need to go back and look. I haven't looked at the rankings since we've added J.J. Finch, where we're at after that. But,
I just refreshed it, and it doesn't look like it bumped us at all, but they might not have processed
still have
it.
us at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that. He's a 4-star. He's a 4-star, like right on the verge of 3. Like he's right there, a tweener between 3-star and 4-star. But we got him to flip from Alabama. So that tells you something. You getting guys from Ohio State and Alabama. No matter the issue, if they were committed to them at one point, and we got them in our class, that's a positive. So. What's your Big Mike? What's your early thoughts? I know you talked to me about. Hey, that's another one. That's a good one, Casey. Savion Hyder still has not signed with Michigan up to this point. There's talk floating around with Virginia Tech and Tennessee still kind of there. But that's still up in the air as well as Salisi Moa for Tennessee. That's the only, one that was committed to Tennessee that has not signed. There's Utah talk there, so that we'll get into all that obviously as the show goes on. But Big Mike, what's your impressions? Obviously, I've kind of spilt a lot of it out for y'all, but what's your impressions from today?
Good day for Tennessee football.
Yeah.
I did a little homework before the show tonight, so y'all should be proud of me. I got every name wrote down.
Hold on, Big Mike. Who flipped?
Which one?
Who flipped? Casey just put in the chat. Someone, Savion flipped. To where?
I hope it's Tennessee.
I haven't seen that.
If it's Tennessee, I'm
no,
jumping
Moa.
around.
He said Moa flip.
Oh, Moa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang. So you can't be doing that to me, Casey. You got to put some work in there, man. I thought Savion Hyder done flipped to Tennessee. I was about to lose my britches.
And speaking of, real quick, before we get too heavy into all this, my buddy just texted me. And for people who are watching on an iPhone, I don't know a whole lot about the other version of the phone, whatever it is. But when you load the show up and you're looking on the YouTube app, I don't know about the actual website YouTube in the browser, but I know on the app on YouTube, the chat is going to pop up first. Yeah. So you have to get out of the chat and hit the little X under the video. It's going to have an X. And that way you can hit the like button and then you can load the chat back up. So just so that y'all know, because somebody had asked, and there you
go. Smash that thumbs up. If you like the content, I'm not going to be out here pressuring thumbs up like some people do, but as long as you like the content. So Big Mike, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I thought that was supposed to be. I thought Casey had done broke some crazy news to me. Shame on you, Casey. No, I'm playing. But Big Mike, go ahead with what you were saying. Talking about this class.
Oh, I just saying y'all be proud of me. I done some homework.
Look at
the show tonight. I got all the names of every signee wrote down. Couple of talking points. Probably some of the flips today that grabbed my attention. We talked about before we came on the show was JJ Finch.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that caught my eye is Jared Carter. That flipped defensive lineman that flipped from A&M. That's going to be a good one. And the guy that flipped from UCLA, Carter Gooden.
Yeah, Carter Gooden.
We got a lot of I believe we got a lot of positions of need, offensive line, defensive line, because we're gonna be losing Eason and them off the defensive line, and I think Heupel done well today.
Oh, I think he did great and beyond, because you talk about the flips. That's the big word on National Signing Day, because as long as you retain the guys that you had committed, and it looks like Moa is the only one that we're probably going to lose, and you add in with flips, that's how you get that bump up to, where you saw where we were started out the day at number 11, and we got all the way up to number 2 at one point on 247 Sports. Mm-hmm. I think it's evened out. We're kind of around the 5-6 range. on several sites.
Rival has us at 5 as well. Rival does.
Rivals. Yeah. Well, I keep saying on 3, but Rivals. Because they merged. But and you hit it on the spot, Big Mike. The need for defensive linemen in this class. I think Rodney Garner, and Coach Chop made a late push here at the end with Jordan Carter and JJ Finch and the Simmons kid out of Carver, Georgia, and just making sure we keep the guys that were already in the class as well. Great gets. You can't emphasize enough the trenches in SEC play. And so to be able to, add on this late in the class and improve this class is words that I didn't think we would had a shot at a few weeks ago. Especially after losing, right after losing to Vanderbilt, I thought this class may falter a little bit. But Josh Heupel, tip of the cap, dude. You proved me wrong. I still want you to fire Tim Banks, but the class itself and what your staff and support staff did to bring in this class, great job. So Tom.
Who's
First
Tim?
impressions. Give me your thoughts on the class.
Well, our 2 best players in the class come from outside of the state of Tennessee, but I love this class because of the guys they picked up from Tennessee: Joel Wyatt, Tariq King, if I can remember the other 2, Kamari Blair,
Gabriel Ascenda.
And oh my gosh, Zach Groves, yeah, all from Tennessee. Big pickups, yeah, for sure. Now, I love the class. You're exactly right. I thought they were going to kind of fumble that one after the other day. I saw a lot of things. That's my post-Dooley syndrome there going on. That's
ever since they evolved. Well,
yeah, for sure. I'm thinking, oh man, you remember that idiot didn't recruit any offensive line 1 year.
Oh, for a whole class, yeah.
Yeah, what an idiot. But no, we did. We picked up 4 offensive linemen. And I mean, that's great. I'm happy with every one of them. I looked at all 3 or 4. I think it's actually 3 of them, but yeah. I'm very happy with the class.
Well, we pulled in a massive offensive line class last year. So,
and I wish for the life of me, the only gripe I got to have a gripe. Okay, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have a gripe about something. I want an elite safety. We've been talking about this for years. You and I, and now, of course, Mike, too, we've been talking about this for a long time. We need to get an elite safety. We need to get the best safety in the class, pull them down. Look, I hate the whole professionalization, but if they got to pay them, they got to pay them. But, I mean, it's time we get an elite safety. That's all I want to accompany a great class. But, hey, top 5, top 6, right now, I just refreshed it. Rivals got us, on 3, top 7. I'll take it, man. Anything top 10, I'm happy with it.
So Rivals has got us at 7 now?
Mm-hmm. I just refreshed it about –
It's probably because of the Moa flip.
Yeah.
So I figured,
and
that's what I text y'all.
I'm happy about
that's what I text y'all. I said, so when Moa flips, we'll drop 2 or 3 because he's a high rated force. Like he's Verge 5-star. So I knew that would hurt some, but these defensive linemen that we picked up here at the end, flipping Legend Bay had a massive impact on us staying top 7, top 8 in the nation. And that's massive because I think that puts us at number 3 in the SEC overall, which that's all I ask for. I don't care what we are in the nation. If we're top 3 in the SEC, Coach Heupel, you're doing great things. That's what I want. I think that's the number you shoot for is top 3 in the SEC, top 5 in the SEC every other year. As long as you're bouncing there back and forth, and then have strong transfer portal classes, because that's just where we are in today's game.
Yeah,
I think you're on the right track.
And Casey and Ben are talking about it. I agree with y'all for sure. Joel Wyatt is definitely going to be, if they can develop him and if they can keep him. Look, a lot of kids have potential coming out of high school. Let's face it. If you're on Georgia, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU, whatever in the SEC or Big Ten schools, you were the best on your team coming out of high school. Like there's no – and in some cases, there's 2 or 3 cats that are going big time football, but you were the best at that position. You're one of the best athletes in the country coming out of high school. But if they can develop him to take the right angles, they can put him in the right position to make some plays. If they can use him correctly, if they don't have those injuries that we had this year at the 2, I mean, that's crippling. Losing Jermod McCoy and Ricky Gibson was just crippling. But if they can put them in the right position, and let's face it also, let's be real, he ain't going to be making a huge impact as a freshman. But I've watched Joel Wyatt's tape, and he is a hell of an athlete. And for his size and everything, he's going to make some really good plays. Absolutely. I mean, 6'4". He's 6'4". That's that tall length. You're going to be batting balls down. You're going to be able to see everything. That's excellent. And that's more in line of what they wanted with the tall corners, the guys that got that size. That's great. That's excellent. Yeah. So, y'all are on point for sure, Casey. Yeah.
I mean, the wide receiver position is I mean, we're on the verge. If I know LSU and Ohio State have been fighting for that title for the last few years. Guys, these recruiting classes, we're the only team in the nation with 3 guys in the top 10 of the conference in receiving yards. Like Mike Matthews, Brandon Staley, Brazil. There's so many guys that are going to be able to compete, come in next year and be some of those top guys. I mean, Tristan Keys, I'm expecting him to come in, be an immediate impact. Is Coach Heupel and company, Coach Polk, going to expand the wide receiver room? I sure hope so. I know this year we're kind of limited with injuries. Rad Jackson, Travis Smith, Legend Bay. I think, we didn't recruit a running back in this class. We don't have a single running back in this class. I think Legend Bay is that guy that they're going to play. So, hey, you're wide receiver. You're listed as wide receiver, but hey, you're wide receiver / running back. You're that hybrid. You're going to be called the running back of this class, and I think that kind of inspired. Flicked his eye a little bit, saying, "Hey, I like the sound of that," especially with Moa flip. I think Tennessee knew by the middle of the day that Moa was a long shot. Now that he was going to end up at Utah. Which I get it. I get it. It's his dad played there. He's literally 30 minutes from the campus. I get it. So going back into the chat, Casey says Jackson next year. Yeah, Rad Jackson's going to be special next year. He'll probably be the X to replace Brazil. And then you got Keys and Smith and King and a couple others as depth pieces to rotate in. Staley, Matthew, Smith, Jackson, Keys, Ethan Davis, and Van Dorselaer, and I'd add up Brame. Don't forget about Brame at tight end. That skill positions are loaded. First class coming out of the backfield and catching those dump passes. Yes, first class without a doubt. Go ahead, Big Ball.
A stat that I seen yesterday that I didn't realize, it's kind of surprising, outside of, our 3 receivers that you mentioned, Matthew, Staley, and Brazil. Yeah. Brazil was the only receiver in the SEC this year with over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
The only one.
Was he really?
Yeah, the only receiver in the regular season to hit the 1,000-yard mark. So
that was surprising to me. As many as good receivers the SEC does have, that he was the only one that went over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I think that's a massive recruiting pitch for Coach Heupel. I mean, for one, you got three of the top 10 guys in the conference, and you have the number one guy, and they're all young. Well, Brazil's not young, but Staley's a redshirt freshman. Matthews is pretty much a freshman based off of playing time from last year. I mean, he's a sophomore, but playing time wise, experience wise, he's a freshman. So you just can build off of that if you're Coach Heupel. I'm going to talk about a little bit at the end of the show, transfer portal talk. I see Ben talking about not Ben, who was it? Oh, Casey talking about portal talk with running backs. I'm going to get into that. There's a quarterback that has been, Austin Price and his little tea leaves he be giving. Hey, I think if we understand that Joey Aguilar is more than likely not coming back, that I don't think it's going to happen. It may, but it may not. I would rather, obviously, me and Tom's vocalized our opinions. I'd rather move on. But there's a quarterback out there that T leaves, Austin Price throwing out there that may be an option come this offseason. So we'll get into that later. Tom, Mike, I don't care who goes first. Outside of Faison Brandon and Tristan Keys, obviously those are the two big gets. I mean, there's no denying that. There are two, big dogs in this class. Who are you most excited for in this class?
Gabriel Ascenda, and it's not even close. I love the fact that we flipped Tristan Keys from LSU, and I love that we got Faison Brandon. That dude's been committed for a year. Faison Brandon's been committed for like a year, and I love him for it. Hey, go Vols. But still, Gabriel Ascenda, I am just over the moon. That guy is like 25, 330 pounds. He might even be heavier than that, and he's 6'7", 6'8". If they can turn him into the athlete that I think he can be just off of his film, and they can get his hands inside on every block, get him firing off the football, yeah, that dude's going to be – he's going to be Mr. Universe. People are going to be talking about an offensive lineman for the first time on ESPN and all that kind of stuff on a regular basis. That's going to be him. They don't talk about offensive linemen very much during broadcasts, during the games, during whatnot. If Gabriel Ascenda turns into the dude that he has the potential to be at whatever his size was, like 6'7", 6'8", 330, 325, something like that, yeah, dude, 100%. He's my favorite pickup in the whole class.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I love the Gabriel Ascenda picks. I mean, 6'8", 325. You can't make that. You can't replicate size. Like, you can't teach and coach size. Yes, you could build them up, but they're big. They're naturally gifted. So yeah, Gabriel Ascenda is a massive get in this class. Big Mike, who would be your guy? I know my guy. Mine, and I don't want to steal him from you, so I'll go last. But who's your guy, Big Mike?
Can I have a A and a B?
Yeah, you can have A and B.
One guy that I'm really excited about, I think is going to be a freak, is Tyreek King.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be. I've seen a lot of his some highlights. I think he's going to be a freak.
Yeah.
He's
similar to me, like Rad Jackson was last year. Kind of undervalued, underrated, but a dude that's a go-get-a player.
There's another guy. I think he's kind of flying under the radar right now, and I believe they've got him listed at cornerback. Zay Anderson from Greenville.
Yep.
Dude is a stud athlete. Like, he played wide receiver for them too. And I seen a video one night last week where he broke a school record, had like 200 something yards receiving in a game this year. And I think he might be somebody that's nobody's really talking about that could step in and contribute at some point.
Is he this year's Ty Redmond? Is he in this class as Ty Redmond? That's actually, getting to that point. That's who I circled as maybe the Ty Redmond of this class, because
he is a 4-star.
You can't teach a coach speed.
Yeah.
He's the fastest. Him and Legend Bay, I'd put Legend Bay's the fastest, but Zayden Anderson is right there, not far behind him. And dude, he's 6'1.5", 6'2", great ball skills. Obviously, Ty Redmond translated early on, so why couldn't Zayden Anderson? Plays in high-level football and 5A 5A Tennessee football. So
4A, I believe.
4A,
yeah, 4A.
And he is a 4-star, isn't he? If I remember right.
He's
I believe so.
Yeah.
And so before I give mine, let me talk about Ben's chat right here. GMAC will ball out and Faison will be ready to ball out about mid-season. Every week is a competition for every position. They need to fight for it. Yeah, I agree with you. I still, to me, and I know this is an opinion not everybody's going to agree with, but I feel like they're going to bring in a transfer portal guy. The guy I'm going to talk about earlier will be a one-and-done guy. Hopefully, by that year for GMAC and Faison, because GMAC's biggest thing is not that he's not arm ready and mind ready. He's got to put on some weight because he's going to get crushed. So, feel every bit of it. So your guy was Gabriel Sanda. Your two guys were Zayden Anderson and Tyreek King. My guys, Legend Bay. That dude, you get him the ball no matter what you do. Running back, wide receiver, wildcat quarterback for I don't care what you do. Joey Halsey, Josh Heupel, he's the fastest, probably the fastest college football player in the country coming in next year.
I think he is the fastest in the class.
You find a way to get him the ball. And Casey, I like your guy too. Jamion Theodore, that's another Ty Redmond-esque. He's a true 3-star. Great ball skills. Plays very high. I'm looking forward to watching him in the state championship tomorrow night. He plays at Baylor with the guy we're looking at next year, David Gabriel Georges, star running back, but he plays at that Baylor school in Chattanooga, and looking forward to seeing him in orange and white as well. Let me get back to the chat. I missed
You get two as well because Mike had two.
Okay. Hey, well, this is my guy right here, Braden Rouse. I saw it and I was like, yep, that's my guy. Great pick, Braden Rouse. Him and TJ White are going to be nasty. Do linebacker combo. They're elite. Two of the top 5 linebackers in the nation. And Coach Inge pulled off both of them. Great, solid. Both Mike linebackers, Will linebackers that play in our 4-2-5 scheme that I think can be really elite come their redshirt freshman or sophomore years. I think you'll have Arian Carter back, T. Lander, Elwood Spillman, and Perlotti. Guys, Inge, that's the reason why I'm talking about it. Yeah, there's issues sometimes filling in gaps, but you just kind of keep developing those guys. You see all the potential in the world in guys like Perlotti and Spillman. Arian Carter's a dog, someone that you love having in the locker room. T. Lander, yes, he's slow, but he is a dog, and he'll put his body in the way of anything. So I like him. I know some people hate him, but I personally love him on Orange. I don't want him to play as much, but he will put his body through a wall for the orange and white. And you can't that's second to none to me. If you're willing to put that much on the line for Tennessee, you're my guy. And so going back to this, do we go to the portal to get a kicker? That's up in the air. I think that depends if Coach Hype gets rid of the special teams coordinator and has a different. Those are the two options I see us getting rid of, along with maybe Martinez. I don't know. But Tim Banks and special teams coordinator are the two options. That is the $450,000. You got that right.
And poor Max, man. I mean, look, he missed the kick against Georgia, but he was put in a bad spot. He was put in a bad spot when we got that penalty because Coach Heupel Sorry, bro. Throw a dart at the board. You were screwing around at the end of that game.
Yeah, he was.
The first thing that came into my mind was "Oh Brother," that movie. Damn, we're in a tight spot, know. That, and he went out there saucer-eyed, but he missed a couple other kicks at some different points in the season. But if he gets older and he puts in the time in the off season, and I mean he puts in the time, and we're talking putting in 50, 60 kicks a day, and you're actually doing it. Just that's your job, man. Look, there's time for individual achievement in football, and that's nailing a field goal.
Yeah.
And you know what? It is duo. It's a dual reality. Your line's got to block and your kicker's got to have a good hold, but he's got to make that kick. Got to make that kick. And I've spent the last, 3 months since he missed that kick against Georgia. I spent 3 months defending that kid, And I think his whole season, just like the rest of the football team, depended on missing that or making that kick, being put in a bad position against Georgia. I mean, it's something that happened after that loss. And as a kicker, individual achievement, that's your time.
Yeah.
That's got to be in your head the rest of the year, man. Like, that's got to go in your mind every single time you go out there, right? Doesn't it? I mean, I try to put that out of my mind, but it's got to be impossible.
Yeah.
It's got to be impossible to put something like that out. But, yeah, I got sidetracked a little bit there.
No, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, Max, I think he has a great leg and is definitely capable of being a great kicker. I just think he has to he has to get more consistent.
Yeah.
And clutch.
100%.
Big Mike, what's your closing out this class? Obviously, we're going to get into some portal talk here soon. But I do want to kind of talk about each player. So I'm going to pull them up if I can get my computer to cooperate. Give me 1 second, y'all.
And while he's taking a second here, my second guy was going to be Braden Rouse. But since there's some people who agree with you already in the chat, and that's your second guy, I'm going to take Hezekiah Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, coming out of the state of Alabama to pluck him out from under that stupid elephant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Dude's going to make some plays in 2-3 years, 2 years, probably. Yeah. 2 seasons. He's going to be making an impact.
Yeah. I think when you look at the class overall, we obviously hit several key needs. In the class, you have Faison Brandon. Obviously, I kind of talked about without him and Keys and the guys we use. Faison Brandon, quarterback, and you got to kind of have a tip of the cap to him. He's been a guy that has been committed from day one and never wavered from it. Like he put his head down, got better, and recruited his butt off for this class. And you see what's panned out for it. We got a top 5, top 10 class, and just a kid that is all orange and white, and I love every second of that. Tristan Keys, guy that I think he's going to be the most immediate impact guy we've had in years.
I hope they put him on the field enough to get him that impact for real. Because I love how, look, I've given Coach Heupel a bunch of crap. I have, but he deserves a little bit of it. Maybe not all of it that I've been throwing his way. But one of the things that I really dig about Josh Heupel is that he is old school in the fact that, hey, your older guys should be the more experienced. They should be the more talented. They should be the more inclined to make a play. But that guy right there, Tristan Keys, you got to get him the ball a couple times next season. Just let him make a play. Put him in the slot and let him go on a couple deep routes. I mean, let's see what he's got for real. Because we didn't get to see that from Mike Matthews. I was so stoked about Mike Matthews that I could have shot through the roof of this house when we signed him 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And we didn't get to see him a whole lot in the first season because apparently he was pretty banged up. And we might not have known the whole story about that because, of course, throw another dart at the board. But sometimes Josh Heupel's not always right up front with you about what's going on with the injuries because he wants to play a game. Hey, I want to see what Tristan Keys has got, man. If we get
Yeah.
GMAC to throw a good deep ball, yeah.
Which he can. He can.
Yeah.
That's something GMAC does not struggle with. Big Mike, what's your take on Tristan Keys? What do you think about him? I know you've probably seen a couple highlights from him. Dude's just an elite talent. What's your thoughts on Tristan Keys? Do you think he'll be an immediate impact guy, or do you think he'll be a year? Like we know how Josh Heupel is. He don't play several wide receivers. So do you think that changes going into next year?
I hope it does, because I would like to see Keys get the ball. You look at these other programs like your Alabamas that when Ryan Williams was a freshman, the impact that he had, why can't we have a freshman to have an impact like that? And I think Tyreek King could be that type of player to have the kind of impact that a Ryan Williams had for Alabama his freshman year.
Yeah. I think you're definitely right. I think you look at these other programs like Ohio State, like Alabama, like LSU.
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith that plays these high elite freshmen, and you just don't look at them and say freshmen, oh, they can't play. No, this dude's a game changer, and I hope they realize that if that is the case. Now, once he gets on campus and he does need time, that so be it. But I can tell you right now from his film and from his athleticism that you can see is evident. That dude should be an immediate impact guy. So I get back to the chat real quick before we keep going down the list. Ben says coach has got to let the best player to play. This year we were soft and seemed like out of shape on both sides of the ball. I know Tom will agree with that, especially on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive line. It's just very questioning the strength and conditioning staff. That's what I would have to say to that. I'd love to have him back another year, but if Joey doesn't fit or just doesn't fit the way things ought to be, I agree. That's talking about Joey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see him back, but not the way things should be,
Yeah, no, I mean, you were both been kind of vocal on that. Joey in this offense for a second year will be great, but neither one of us believe that's how games should be played. So he was a lifesaver, but I think I don't think it's good for the game, and I think getting a one-year guy, the transfer portal, that still has actual eligibility, or Avon or GMAC be the guy next year would be my go-to choices. Let's continue down this list. Obviously, we've already talked about Joel White and Gabriel Senda a little bit. Braden Rouse, we talked about Tyreek King. Carter Gooden.
Flip.
Flip guy that Big Mike was talking about earlier. We flipped from UCLA. Massive get is down between us and Vanderbilt. Another one of those defensive linemen, to replenish that depth that we lost. Kamari Blair, in-state guy, big offensive tackle. I think he's a big get for us. Any of those big offensive tackles that are, have that college-ready body is legit get for us. Legend Bay, I've already talked about him. Tom talked about Hezekiah Harris, the top-rated defensive end in the class for us. Look at that body, 6'5", 230. Put on about 10, 15 pounds, and you're looking at someone that's closer to game ready than maybe what James Pierce or Joshua Joseph was as a freshman.
And you can see in all three of these guys in a row now that you got it pulled up. Hezekiah Harris, Jordan Carter, and Zach Groves, all three of them.
Yeah.
Look, that's three guys in a row that are in order in our book, right? So look, they're going to push each other. You got three guys coming in. Look, hey, we don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it right here. There isn't room enough in the in the next 4 years for all three of them to play as much as they probably want to be playing. So they're going to be pushing each other to see who's going to be the top dog coming out of this one class, and then who's going to be the one right underneath that. That's going to be something, because I don't think in the last 6-7 years that we've had 3 defensive ends. Well, probably even further back than that, going back to when Butch Jones was, golly, I don't even want to mention that dude. But going back that far, we haven't had 3 defensive ends like that, and not even 2 in the same class. And it just, in my opinion, just from what I've seen from those 3 guys on the film, because I did watch all 3 of their films today, that was something that really piqued my interest, seeing the 3 guys all in a row like that on our board, that we signed all 3 of them. Yeah. Anybody that's watching, if you want to have a really good time for about 30 minutes and you really want to get some joy out of watching what these guys can do in our incoming class, watch all 3 of the films on all 3 of those guys back to back to back, and just watch all 3 of them and see what you think, because that is something interesting. I burned about 45 minutes today doing that.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And but I'll tell you, the funnest film to watch on the whole team, even over the 5-star guys, this guy right here, Legend Bay.
Yeah,
you want to go have some fun watching some film? Go watch him. Go watch him. Your jaw will drop, because that dude, it seems like a touchdown, and just breaking guys off and guys will be right neck and neck with him, and then 5 yards later,
break away 10
yards apart.
Yep. It's something special. Not everybody's got that kind of speed, man. No. Yeah.
And if you look at this class, Big Mike, in the totality of the class, what do you notice about it? You see 1 D lineman, 2 D lineman, 3 D lineman, 4 D lineman, 5 D lineman, 6 D lineman, 7 D lineman, 8 D lineman. There's one more. 9 D linemen, and then 10 D linemen.
Yep.
10 defensive linemen in this class, Big Mike. What does that tell you from the start?
It tells me that they're wanting to build their depth, because we need to be able to. I hate to keep bringing up, other teams, but like your playoff teams that are able to rotate guys in and out, like even whole lineups, like Alabama or whoever else, can throw in a whole defensive line,
I'm sorry. I wouldn't laugh at you. That's a hell of a
compliment. You're good.
I love that.
But I'd love to be able to rotate 3 or 4 guys in and out and have fresh legs in there, because that's another thing, talking about our defense this year. Is depth, not being able to, rotate guys in and out like some of the other teams can do. So I think, signing that many linemen in our class is really going to help with that, hopefully. And another, like a side note to that, I didn't know if y'all seen before we come on, I noticed that we should have a really good chance of holding on to Rodney Gardner, because Auburn, they are retaining their defensive line coach under DJ Durkin. So hopefully that means that Gardner is going to be staying around for us.
Yeah.
I did not see that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
I seen that right before we come on, that they're retaining the guy that's their defensive line coach, Durkin is. So that should be a good sign for us to keep Rodney Gardner on our staff.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, if I was a defensive lineman, I'd want to come play for Rodney G, man. And we're talking about defensive line here. Edward Baker, he's got a whole nother season to go, doesn't he? I can't remember. He's got a whole nother season to go. No. Okay.
He's signed.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, he's underrated. I'm telling you right now.
He's very underrated.
He's very underrated. There's guys that you can say that about, and then there's guys that you could really back it up. And for his size and for his ability, he's underrated for sure.
Yeah, he's a guy that Coach Ellaby he was I think he was actually the first or second guy committed in this class. Like he is someone that joined Gabriel Senda and Tyreek King and Faison as being one of the front runners of this class, and really helped recruit and facilitate the rest of this class. I'm going to go back to the chat, get back to a couple of these posts. Casey says, I'm glad we just got some size on the defensive line. We struggled with that this year. Yes, injuries played a massive part of it. Having David Hobbs, Jackson Moy out for a good bit of the year. Tyree West was out of game. You had other issues, linebackers being out, and that can some linebackers, like Arian Carter missing a couple games, that can mask what the defensive line's ability or inability, because the linebackers can make defensive line look really good, or linebackers can make defensive line look really bad. So Tom be the first one to tell you how that is. Let's say Amber said, at the risk of being ostracized, I guess that's how you say it. Again, I suck at English. I didn't even know it was National Signing Day. I'm just here painting my nails and learning stuff. That's a good one. Tom said, you and my fiance both. And then Amber says, I swear I'm actually a Vols fan. I second that. I know she is. So that is the true case.
Hey, and Virginia Tech had a heck of a day too. Look, my fiance, she's a Tech grad, so I hear it, all the time. Oh, go Hokies, Look, just to drop Virginia Tech a little bit of a line, okay, just to throw them a little bit of a bone. James Franklin brought at least 10 guys from that class that they recruited to Penn State over to Virginia Tech. So maybe, just maybe 2 years from now, Virginia Tech might have a football team again. We might not. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. The press is out on that one, but still.
Yeah, I think they did hit a home run hire for James Franklin. I think that's more his flow. I think Penn State was a little too much for him. I think the Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, I think he's going to fit in great there. So, Casey, you got that right. And then Hokie 8306 said, yeah, go Hokies. Penn State did screw themselves over. They're still looking for a head coach, and their national recruiting class is like dead last in the country. Like
they got 4 signees today, and that was it.
Yeah, they're pretty screwed. So, we talked about the class. We kind of talked about each player a little bit. We kind of finished. J.J. Finch is a guy. Darion Albert, our interior defensive tackle guys. Daryl Rivers, guys, I've seen this dude play. He is a behemoth. He is massive. Yeah. Great get. Javonte Smith, local guy from Jackson, Tennessee. Love seeing that. Joe Combe, I think he's the second most underrated guy in the class. Plays at a big school there in Marietta, Georgia. KJ McLean, very fast, very versatile safety. Let me keep going. Lost person in the class, the Logan Foley. We got us another Jackson Ross, y'all. He's a switch-footed punter from Australia. Big dude. Going to be another weapon in the punting game. That's something we haven't struggled with. Even though I criticize our special teams a lot, Jackson Ross is definitely a weapon, because there's not returns against Tennessee in the punt game. So very big weapon for us. I'm guessing you know who that is.
Yeah. Look, I watched his film twice, actually, because that I know he's at the top of the three as far as those three defensive ends in a row, but he's got a great film if you want to watch for 5 or 10 minutes and you can rewind it and watch the whole thing over. But not everybody's like us. They don't always like to watch film of high school games that are going on or whatever it is. And hey, I don't even watch nearly as much high school film of all these guys as you do. I know that for sure. I'm probably about 1/10 of how much time you spend watching it, but it's fun though. I mean, seriously, if anybody wants to get a new hobby for a couple hours a week, you unwind, have a drink, watch some high school film. It's a special thing. It really is. It's fun.
For someone that coach, like it's just bred in me because it's just what I do. Like I love watching football, good football, and then learning the game. Because I mean, even though I'm still obviously learning a crap tons about the game each day. I think Big Mike, if you want to put a circle, a tie, a bow on it, what do you think we got the most out of this class?
What do I think we got the most of?
Yeah, just like overall, like athleticism or, guys that, immediate impact guys that are developmental or, a mix of both, or it could be anything. What do you think this class is going to bring to, I guess in general, what is this class going to bring to the University of Tennessee?
I think it was Casey or somebody mentioned it earlier talking about our defensive line signings. We got a lot of size in this class. A lot of size, and definitely just looking over the list, a lot of athleticism. And I do believe we do have some guys on this list that can be immediate impact guys, like your Tristan Keys or your Tyreek Kings. Some of those, I believe they can be possible immediate impact guys.
Yeah, I'm right there
in depth. I think we got a lot of depth in this class to help us with our depth.
Yeah. I'm 100% agree with you there. I think depth, because we talked about the defensive line earlier. Massive story that we're getting 10 defensive linemen just in this class. And so you look at what we're losing, and then what we need to bring in to improve our defensive line. I think this is. I still think you go get one top tier interior defensive lineman in the transfer portal to kind of be an immediate impact guy. But Tom, what do you think we're getting out of this class? I like Casey's answer here. National championship is what they're bringing, but more on a broad general statement, like Michael, what do you think they're bringing to this Tennessee football roster?
We brought in a lot of secondary players this year too. We brought in 3 different safeties, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
At least 3 that I can remember. I don't remember how to pronounce
Thompson and McLean.
Yeah, Joel Akambe, I think, is probably underrated too.
Without a doubt. I think
for his size, I remember watching his film the other day. He's got a really good film out of I know he's a Georgia kid. Look, historically, some of our guys that have been the dudes in Tennessee football have been out of Georgia. When we get good guys out of the state of Georgia, we really got a lockdown defense. I mean, that's just a thing in itself. But I think secondary and defensive line were, as far as, look, we're in the age of the whole professionalization thing. They're going to get – look, and I know everything I'm going to say is going to be tied to this, really. I mean, it's all stipulated on the professional.
I check it off. It off every show. Like,
yeah, man, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to look, I'm going to create a movement against professionalization in college athletics. But no, it's a tough thing. And we were talking about this the other night. The coaches that can mold themselves to managing professional athletes like the NFL has, they're going to be successful. But then second tier from that, just underneath, and I mean, it's touching, it's that second tier thing, but it's touching it. If they can absolutely manage having guys leave and bringing them in through the free agency, or you want to balance bringing guys in from high school. You want to balance bringing in that one dude. Maybe you want to bring 2 or 3 in at each position, depending on your need, of course. We got 8, 9 defensive linemen in this class, whatever it is. But relative to the general situation, you want to bring 3 or 4 guys in at a position, whatever it is, because you're lacking there. Okay, well, balance that with the free agency now. And I hate that I'm talking about it like this because I despise it, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't get away from talking about it this way. That's something that secondary with McCoy and Gibson going down, we had Colton Hood and Ty Redmond. And boy, are we lucky that we picked up Colton Hood in the free agency because, I mean, without Colton Hood making a couple of plays this year, we got 2 more L's on the list here, fellas. I mean, that's easy to say 2 more L's because he made some serious plays this year. And so did Ty Redmond. I mean, they both did. But Colton Hood turned into a serious competitor at the defensive back position. So I do love that we brought in 3 or 4 guys at safety. We brought in 3 corners, I think. That's a good thing for me too. Yeah. And of course, I'm an offensive line fool. I love bringing in offensive linemen, but you made the point earlier. You hit it right on the nose. We brought in a hell of an offensive line class the last 2 years in a row.
Last 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. We did. And, you know, I kind of give Bennett Warren and William Satterwhite and those guys a little bit of crap sometimes, but you're a little bit older now, Jack. You need to start making some plays. You know, you need to you're 2 years into your jock strap here. You know, you need to get in and you need to make it, and you need to get your nose in the ball game. If they turn into 3rd and 4th year players, then hell yeah, I'm all for it. With the guys we got coming back, look, we could possibly have all 5 of our offensive linemen coming back, and we got.
Hey, at all top, we're not losing unless some leave in the transfer portal. We won't be losing a single offensive lineman.
I hope, because they need to have that continuity.
I don't think Boy goes pro. As of right now, I don't think Lance Hurd goes pro.
Well, they need to have the continuity for another year, because this year, look, hey, from a top tier standpoint, they did look soft. Okay, look, you got to fix that. Flat out, you've got to ball up and you got to cowboy up and you got to say, hey, look, it's time to do it. You got to get tough. You got to get discipline. And those are the top 2 things. You've got to be physical. But as continuity wise goes, if they get another season together, I want to give Glenn Ellerbe, this is the one coach that I'm kind of on a 50-50. I'm like, hey, look,
yeah, I mean, he's been doing great recruiting, but
for sure. But if this offensive line comes in next year and blocks for GMAC and gives him, let's say, 3 seconds, 3 seconds is an eternity, man, on average. But they give him time to throw, and they open up some holes, because they're actually going to do. We're hitting on a lot of stuff here, but if they can actually develop an identity and say who we are running the football, we're going to be literally just a counter gap scheme, or we're going to be a zone scheme inside, or whatever it is. They develop that. They can do that with this offensive line because they've had that year together, and hopefully they learn from the mistakes they made. But
I'm right there with you. I think the biggest mistake Tennessee made running wise this year is try to mix up their run scheme, and that's the reason why I think you saw a little bit of a downfall in the run game, because they just weren't as dominant as we were. Obviously, we were so much gap scheme the years before, and they tried to mix in some zone scheme this year, which I get, but at the same time, I think that's part of the reason why you saw a little downfall and some softness, because that's something zone schemes can put in the offensive lineman. So
it can.
Just my personal take on zone run game. But to move on, we need to hammer a little bit of the transfer portal real quick.
Yeah.
And then we need to close out the show. Big Mike, based off of this recruiting class, what we brought in, and then based off of what we have leaving, as far as guys graduating out of eligibility, go ahead and throw Aguilar into that, because I personally don't think he's coming back. what's a position of need that you want to target in the transfer portal now, especially with the big money? Because I think Coach Heupel and this administration is ready to go all in. I think that this is the year that's going to happen.
I've got a couple. I think still we need to go after throw some money at a big time safety.
Yeah.
I think you brought it up earlier. Maybe even throw some money at a big time defensive lineman out of the portal. And running back. I think we need, because I don't know if I hadn't heard anything about anybody transferring, but I don't know if with Peyton Lewis, I don't know if he's the guy.
Yeah.
Behind Deshaun Bishop. I think Dewanye Morris, we might see him get some playing time next year. I think he's going to end up being a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my three right now that I'm thinking of. And, depending on what happens with Joey, maybe quarterback. And I know you brought that up earlier and was going to touch on that. So, but yeah, I think safety and defensive lineman and running back are three that stick out in my mind right now.
Mm-hmm. I think you literally hit the top three. And I think me and Tom and you are all going to circle around that. Maybe a corner. If you got someone calling because you saw what Colton Hood provided for us this year. You can't bank on Ricky Gibson or Ty Redmond being fully healthy all next year. So that extra depth was much needed. Before I talk about my transfer portal thoughts, Lynn, hey, thanks for coming and joining the show, man. Love seeing you in the chat, brother. Always appreciate all y'all that come in the chat and watch the show. Yeah, I appreciate you for coming on. My thoughts, interior D tackle, I said we go get one. Try if there's an elite one that wants to come, be paired up with David Hobbs on that defensive line, along with Ethan Utley, Isaiah Campbell. Nathan Robinson will be back next year. So establish that interior. You got some other younger guys coming up. Leo's, obviously, you'll have Caleb Herring, Jordan Ross, Jaden Lofton, Tyree Weathersby, and at defensive end, you'll have I'm losing some people. Marion Dye, another big name, and then along with the freshman. So you could maybe say strong side defensive end or interior nose tackle, go get in the transfer portal. I'm with you on safety. Go try to nab at least one strong superior safety. Go add a corner, and then this is what I was going to talk about earlier. Go nab a running back, a good running back, someone that can elevate Deshaun Bishop. I want someone to go push Deshaun Bishop for starting status in this offense. And then the quarterback I was going to talk about, Austin Price gave out the tea leaves earlier. Brennan Sorsby from the University of Cincinnati, the quarterback. He's been at a couple places, but this year he's quarterback at the University of Cincinnati. He was a starting quarterback. Got very mobile, very electric arm guy. Great in the RPO game. He's got 1 year of eligibility. His parents live in Knoxville. His brother and his brother's wife live in Knoxville. So I think that's a tea leaf that Austin Price put out there as a very legit option, as someone that can come in and be a one and done. Let GMAC put that weight on as a redshirt sophomore the year after, and Faison be a redshirt freshman, and be those guys to be able to compete the next year for that starting job. So that's just kind of the transfer portal talk that I wanted to talk about a little bit. Guys, great show. I think just kind of put a tie on it. Tom, last final thought about this class, man. Last final thought.
I'm glad we didn't go for a tailback because look, I want and I just had his name in my head. We were wanting him to flip from Michigan. No, we were wanting him to flip.
Savion Hyder?
Yeah, Savion Hyder. Thank you. Look, aside from going for Savion Hyder, that is your one, in my opinion, okay, that's my only thing that I differ from any of y'all that I think have expressed opinions on this whole thing. That's the only thing I differ on. I wouldn't have gone for a tailback other than him because obviously you go for Savion Hyder. The dude's a home run hitter. Yeah. He's got the speed. He's got the size. He is an SEC tailback. Or he could be that Michigan Big Ten tailback. We'll see if the offensive line does a decent job of blocking for him. But other than that, I'm glad we didn't actually go for a tailback because literally, y'all, this is just me again. We got as backups behind our Knoxville native here. We got Peyton Lewis, we got Dwanye Morris, and we got Justin Baker. Yeah. Dwanye Morris and Justin Baker are pretty good tailbacks, but will they turn into the guys that can take the hits? They can keep in for a whole drive. They're going to actually catch a pass out of the backfield, stuff like that. That's to be seen.
Dwanye Morris,
I'm happy with
Dylan Sampson on this roster. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. And everything else I'm happy with. I think we got a great overall haul. I really do. Now, there's a couple of guys that haven't actually signed quite yet that I'm a little bit concerned as far as, okay, well, are we going to pick these guys up? But they're on the fence anyway. They're not committing until next week or maybe it's Friday or Saturday or something like that.
Friday.
Yeah. So we'll see. And, of course, when we do another live show, we'll get to talk about them signing with UT anyway. I mean, hey, if they're going to pay them, they're going to pay them, and they're going to come. We live in the era that we do, But this is a good class. This is the best class we've had since Philip Fulmer was here.
What?
It is. I mean, there's no other way of saying it. And Phil Fulmer had his ups and downs, but when he stepped on a campus, other coaches are like, man, well, we may as well.
I mean, we saw it in The Blind Side.
Yeah. And he might not have done a whole lot with it after 98. He might not have done a whole lot with it because he got rid of some of his better coordinators and he hired on some coordinators that I could probably have done without. Don Chavis. But anyway, this is the best class we've had in 24 years, I think, 23 years. This is a hell of a pickup. And it could get even better. You never know. We pick up a couple more guys in the next couple of days, and we're looking really, really solid. I mean, number 7 in the country is good. And that's
Hyder is the one I'm circling on. I want to see what happens
sure.
there.
And let me kind of back up just a second. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna add one more thing to it. If they do pick up Savion Hyder, then they got to put him in. They do. Yeah, they got to see what he's going to do. You can't bring in the top dog in the tailback class and say, hey, you're going to sit for a year. No, man, that ain't the way it works. No. They got to put him in. Peyton Lewis, you said this the other night, and I completely agree with you. He has the potential, but he did disappoint a little bit in a couple of positions this year. Look, hey, Peyton, if you're watching, if you ever watch this, I love you, brother. I do. I love you. But we bring in a guy like Savion Hyder, you got to put him in and say, look, you're going to get 10 carries a game because we want to see what you can do as a number 1 tailback coming in with an offensive line that's got that cohesion that's been in there for that. But I'm going to kind of retract myself there because I
agree with you.
Talk about this for another 2 hours. If anybody wants to get on,
I'm right there with you. I could too, but got other things got to knock out.
What other things? There is no other thing.
I just whooped tail with Utah on my NCAA dynasty, so that's what I do. So, but no, I'm just playing. But
hey, we'll see.
We'll see. It's national championship. Hey, Mike, you don't know what we're talking about. Me and him in the same dynasty league, and him and his buddies don't know I've not won a national championship in whatever league I play in. So.
I haven't either.
I dominate. People hate. That's just what it is. So, hey, great show. B Mike, you the man as always. Tom, you the man as always. Great show. Always great to represent this smoky dog and represent these colors back here. Y'all have a blessed day. Great day for National Signing Day. Great day to be a Tennessee Vol fan. Y'all have a blessed day and go Big Orange.
Go Vols.
Go Big Orange.
Time for the exit.
I'm on God time, what you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? What you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? What you want, huh? I'm on God time, what you want, huh? God time, we don't.
I've been up and I've been down and I done seen it all. Was in the gym working my shot, now they pass me the ball. They never answer when I call, now I'm the one they call. I done been up and I've been down and I done seen it all.